Hey everybody, welcome to Everybody's a Critic Extended Edition. This time we'll be talking about 3 billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri. Once again, I'm Rachel Zalucki, and these are my 2 beautiful co-hosts.
Michael Donelan.
I'm Jacob Douglas.
Awesome. Well, this movie's been nominated for Best Picture, Best Actress. 2 actors have been nominated for Best Supporting Actor, Best Original Screenplay, Best Editing, and Best Score. So let's get into it. I, for one, I hated this movie, but I also think that this will win Best Picture, and I kind of hope it wins Best Picture because I think it has a lot of important things to say. The theme of anger in this movie kind of really got me because I think it bodes well in how everyday society kind of handles situations like this. And I think it speaks a lot for small town USA, which like a lot of films don't really talk about small town USA. And coming from a small town, I really appreciated it. So.
Well, my small town is nothing like this, because I also am from a very small town, and we do not throw each other outside of windows.
Well,
I can tell you that.
Do you not
From
put
second
up
story building.
billboards?
We
Yeah.
don't put up
possibly?
three billboards when are saying that my daughter was burned alive and raped.
Oh,
We also don't have. I think we don't have racist cops. We could. You never know.
Well.
That's one of the things that I have complaints the most about this movie is I think its director, whose name is escaping me for some
Martin
reason.
McDonagh.
Martin McDonagh is British,
Yeah.
and I think he just like got all the stereotypes of the South and put them into one movie.
One city.
He was like, hey, this is what I think it's like.
Yeah, Martin kind of took the southern predisposition and put it over the Midwest,
Yeah.
and that's not correct. But I mean, I related to it.
Technically, Missouri is the South.
Yeah.
Depends where you're
That's
at.
another debate for another
I
day.
thought
Also,
that was interesting.
yeah, the title is very on the nose.
Yeah.
Ebbing, Missouri, ebb and flow. The characters are very fluid in whether or not they're good people or bad people.
Yeah.
I think they're all bad people. Look, this movie got a lot of hate and a lot of praise.
It's very divisive.
And I think
yeah.
it falls in the middle,
Yeah.
honestly. I think it has great acting, great performances.
Yeah.
I think the story structure is a little weird, and a lot of things just happen by chance, which always bugs me in movies, and I don't think there's a lot of purpose for a lot of things. I think, like Rachel said, it does have some strong themes and messages. But at the end of the day, if this wins Best Picture, it's a
gonna
crime.
riot.
It's
I
a
don't-
crime
yeah,
because
do
I
not want
think
this to win.
you just look at like a movie like Get Out or Dunkirk or The Shape of Water, or even Phantom Thread, like all movies that I think do something new and unique.
Yeah.
And this movie is a very by the numbers dark comedy.
It's a very when I walked into the theater and I was like, this is a very entertaining movie. Like, I mean, I did like take some things away from it, but I was like, above all, I was entertained. Like, I feel like the other movies, I was more like intellectually like
yeah.
kind of thinking like,
Stimulated.
okay, but like, I do think that it brought up good conversation about like, I mean, whether you didn't like it or you liked it. Like, I thought, I mean, people were really talking about like police brutality and the way that it was portrayed, which I thought also like having kind of a turning of the racist cop in the movie, like that was interesting to see, like how he was like the one who like went through the most change.
But like, he does go. It's interesting with Sam Rockwell's
Yeah.
character, and I think he will win for Best Supporting Actor. I think
me
he's
too.
great. But his character's interesting because he is redeemed somewhat for what he does, but he's
also-
he's still racist.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like he never changes
Yeah.
on his view on black people in the movie. Like
Yeah.
he's still a racist cop, except he's just a racist cop who also, by the way, what he does has no actual effect on the main
Yeah.
problem in the story because they find out it's not her DNA.
Well, I think
So,
that's
like-
I think that's the kind of the point of that whole character arc because it's like, does this even redeem him? Because I personally, that part struck me as like, kind of playing into what you said about the title, where it's ebb and flow, where it's like, oh, he goes out of his way to kind of find something in regards to a case that he probably had not a lot of stake in previously in the movie, but coming up with nothing, he's still inspired to take action, and whether or not that action is justified is kind of what that movie is supposed to leave you on. But that being said, I kind of feel like this whole movie, there's not a lot of justification for anybody's actions, which I think that this movie, I just didn't like this movie because I think that it was very irresponsible in the way that it handled like real life situations. It kind of asked you to suspend your disbelief on situations that are too serious to suspend your disbelief. That being said, going back to what you said about Martin McDonough, he actually, I think this is the first movie he's directed. He's a screenwriter, so
I'm pretty sure he directed In Bruges as well.
Oh yeah.
Which is
And Seven Psychopaths.
Right, which both very, very fun movies.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know that. Sorry. No. But so a lot of his plays kind of take on the same role as Three Billboards does, where it kind of takes very serious situations and makes them into like comedic things, which I'm a big fan of the notion that you can laugh at anything, but you have to take responsibility for like the punchlines. And like you said about how everything kind of happens by chance and like there's no real consequence, I think that's worth talking about in this movie, because in real life, like, and you're not supposed to compare movies to real life, but at the same time, you can't portray like a racist cop and not like address the idea that like this is a racist cop, because then that has repercussions for your audience.
Right, and the thing about it is there is no repercussions for him being racist. He doesn't get kicked off of the force because he's racist. He gets kicked off the force because he threw a dude out of a second-story window in front of the whole entire town.
Problematic.
And like, does he really pay for his sins in the film? I don't think he does. He gets the crap beat out of him a couple times, and he gets burned up pretty bad. But like permanently, not a lot of bad things happen to him. And he loses his job, but like, not for the reasons why he should. And another thing that's interesting about this movie, to me, is that the main character in the story, Frances McDormand's character, is also a terrible person. Who doesn't get redeemed at all either.
No.
She burns down the police department for no reason. Like, her character is very stubborn in the fact that the police obviously have no evidence in this case. And it's very understandable why there's no evidence. But she still decides to burn the police station down. And clearly she did it. She's the one, she has a hoodie on and is sweating after it's been burnt down, just watching it burning when the cops show up. And the cops like, she's like, oh no, I was out on a walk with my boyfriend.
That being said, I would like to say that Peter Dinklage deserves so much more than to be the butt of a like little people joke. Like that, I think that was the biggest crime this movie committed. Peter Dinklage is such a diversified actor, and he was reduced to like, oh, it's a midget. Like, that just made me so mad.
I thought the actors that they chose for the movie, like, they're all like so. I mean, can you imagine being on set with Frances McDormand and Woody Harrelson? Like, I mean, they must have been just like, I mean, it would have been crazy to be on there. But like, I thought she was, I mean, she played the part very well. Like, she did play like a mother who was so troubled by this that she like, I mean, obviously she suspended judgment a little bit, and, like, attacked a dentist, and burned down the police station. But
it's also worth talking about the role she had in her daughter's death. I think that that's kind of like, I don't think she caused it, but I think it's worth talking about because she's taking all these actions against people who had like a very like a significant but a minimal role in like figuring out her daughter's case, and none of this is sort of like reflecting back on her, at least in her own head. I feel like that kind of plays into the movie a lot too, but I don't feel like a lot of people are talking about that incremental scene, because that movie kind of, that moment in the movie changed it all for me, because then it became less about like who killed Frances McDormand's daughter and more about just like the unbridled rage that people can have and like the consequences of it.
Which is clearly coming out on this panel. A little bit of unbridled rage. But I think we could talk about this movie all day. I think it's very, very easy to be. It's a controversial film. I think let's go back. Let's see what it's nominated for. Let's kind of discuss that. It's also nominated for Best Score.
Which I don't.
Which I was surprised by
Me
because
too.
I didn't notice it.
Yeah.
Usually a score sticks out to me. So
I noticed the songs that they played that weren't in the score, but like I I mean, I guess I mean, maybe it's because I like saw the trailer every time I went to the movies, like, and that song stuck in my head. But like,
Yeah.
that was the only thing that was memorable for me for like that.
Yeah, I mean, you can go check out our Phantom Thread video. We talk a lot about score in there, in depth. Best editing. Baby Driver is winning best editing.
Yeah.
So
Baby
we
Driver was
can
great.
stop that conversation right
Just
now.
strike it from the record.
Because that movie that's the gimmick. That's not the gimmick because it's good, but like that's what that movie is. It's the
that's
editing.
its niche.
The opening sequence of Baby Driver is
Oh my
just
gosh.
like
one of
just
my
give it
favorite
to
scenes
'em.
of film.
Yeah.
This year. So
All
great.
right. What about best original screenplay?
No.
No.
No, I
mean,
want the big. I want either the big or I want the Big Sick or maybe like I think Logan is adapted screenplay.
Yeah.
But I think
I want Logan to win really bad. I love
Yeah.
that so much.
Logan's great.
I think best original screenplay goes to Get Out.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That movie's crazy.
Yeah.
Someone thought of that and wrote it down on paper.
Yeah, yeah.
So, that's my pick.
Jordan Peele.
Yeah. Oh gosh. I hope Get Out sweeps the Oscars. That's my favorite movie of the year. So.
That's great.
And then.
Best supporting actors, both of them, Sam Rockwell and Woody Harrelson. I think Woody Harrelson has a better chance than Sam Rockwell. I feel like people are so divided on his character. It might be a little.
But if you look at like
Woody Harrelson plays himself in the movie,
Yeah,
though.
and
Like,
if you look
there's
at, like, the
nothing
SAGs.
special about his performance.
I mean, yeah, I don't
And-
think he's a front runner for the award, but I'm just saying that I feel like there was so much like backlash against Sam Rockwell's character. I don't know if that's going to factor into the Oscar voting.
Right. The only thing is that it's not about the character. I know Daniel Day-Lewis won for There Will Be Blood, and his character is an absolute scumbag.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
So I think he'll win. He's won. He's swept, much like Oldman for Darkest Hour. He's swept everything.
Yeah.
So I think Rockwell wins it.
And like same with Frances McDormand. Like I think she'll win Best Actress probably because if you look at like everything else.
Holding out hope for Sally Hawkins. I'm holding out hope. She is incredible in Shape of Water.
Yeah. I feel like I'm honestly so surprised that this movie has been winning as much as it has. Like when they said the name at the Golden Globes, and I think it also won. Did it win for Best Ensemble at the
And ensemble
SAGs?
cast, yeah.
I'm so surprised that it's been winning so much.
I mean, it makes sense with the cast. I think everyone's. Like I said, I think this movie definitely has a lot of problems, but I think the casting and the acting is incredible.
Yeah.
I have a friend who loves theater, and he was like, "This is very much like what acting would be like in theater."
Yeah.
Which is very interesting. I think McDormand has I think she has a chance. Obviously, she's won a lot. I just think Sally Hawkins' performance in Shape of Water is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
She can convey so much emotion without saying a word.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was funny. She was like, she made you cry. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, I think if she doesn't win, we're gonna look back on that performance in a couple of years and be like, oh my gosh, we were wrong.
So final breakdown. Do we think it's going to win Best Picture? I say no.
Yeah, like I said, it won at the Globes. The Oscars hates the Globes.
Yeah.
They don't like. They're a little more pretentious. So I don't think it. I mean, it has a chance. Any movie that wins awards at other award shows has a chance. But I just think. I think with all of the backlash, that voters are going to take that into account and they're going to vote its way. Like I said, I think Get Out and The Post and Shape of Water, those three are the front runners for me.
Definitely.
Like I said, like if it does win, I feel like I'd be very surprised if it does win. But it's been surprising me all award season, so well, I guess we'll just have to see. So.
Yeah. Any last remarks before we wrap it up?
Go see this movie.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely worth seeing. I know some people will say, "Oh, don't see it; it's a piece of crap."
No.
It's entertaining.
Go see it. Make your own opinions.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't take what we say or what anyone else says. Go see it for yourself because I think this is whether or not it wins. It's an important movie to see because I think this past 3 months it's dominated conversation.
Yeah.
As far as being a controversial film, so I think you should see it.
Definitely. And this is the style of Martin McDonough to create conversation, which, I mean, like, his most popular Broadway play was Pillow Man, which we're still talking about. All right, well, I think that's it for us. That's all the time we have. Thank you for tuning in. If you want to see more of us, head over to E23's YouTube channel or mutv.missouri.edu to see our online content. Thank you so much for watching.